Hello everyone and welcome to CottageCraft. I'm super excited to be starting my first proper survival series. I want to keep this one going for a while. I really hope you guys like this. Please like and subscribe if you do, and let's get started with the video. Starting up with a brand new world, I found myself in a dark oak forest with some pale oak behind me and got straight to cutting down a tree. I was pretty happy with this seed because I love the dark oak forest with all the mushrooms, and I started getting some wool so I could make a bed, and then I went on to continue looking at the world that I had created. It's really cool. It's a pretty cool seed. You can see some jungle and some birch with a big kind of mountain, and I think it looks really cool. I started collecting a pumpkin and then made a little staircase down so that I could collect some stone. I dug out a little area so that I would have enough to craft myself a pickaxe and a sword, and obviously a furnace so that I could get some mutton cooking and so that I wouldn't be really hungry. I then made my bed and a sword. I had another look around and found some of these bushes and some sugarcane, and then I went to bed and got up the next day to collect some pale oak. I was pretty excited to see this wood because I haven't used it much outside of creative Minecraft. I also collected some of the moss, and then I decided that it was time to go back into the mines, so I made some torches and started going down this little sort of ravine that I'd found. I much prefer to start just digging in a straight line, and it wasn't long before I found some iron, which was really good. It was great to find quite a lot of iron early on because I always go for this armour even though we now have copper in the game. I then also found loads of coal, which is great because I feel like I always run out of coal, so I meant to collect it all. I then tried to dig back up my staircase before deciding that I just wanted to come and explore this cave that I'd found. And once I went into it, it became very clear that this was a mine shaft, not just a cave that I'd found. I also found some of the dripstone and quite a big expanse of mine shaft. It seemed to just keep going on, and there was quite a lot of water down there too, so I just tried to light it up as much as possible. But really, I didn't want to run into a spawner or anything like that, so at first I was kind of hesitant to go into it, especially as I knew that I didn't have any armour. But I kept exploring and trying to find different ways where there might be some chests, and I came across some lapis. There was also quite a lot of iron speckled throughout the mineshaft, which was really good, and therefore I kept deciding to try and go on. I found more coal, which is always great, and also some chests, which were really good, although this first one didn't have much in it that I needed, although beetroot seeds are kind of cool to have. Eventually stumbled across some lava and decided I didn't want to go any further in that direction, but collected some bread and torches from this chest that I found. I then went back up to the surface because I had a completely full inventory and I didn't want to ditch any of the stuff that I'd got. I killed a skeleton in case I needed a bone in the future, and decided to start looking around for somewhere that I might be able to build a house. I started to clear an area and collect some resources, and this is the bit that I ended up clearing out. I decided that I wanted to build with a combination of stripped oak logs and just planks, which I think created a really nice textured wall. You can see how the house was coming along here. Obviously within this biome I really wanted to use dark oak as the accents for this house. I then thought it just needed a bit more, so I started to add a chimney. I wanted it to come up the side and look like this, which I think was really nice, but I needed it to be a bit more textured, so I went in with some different kinds of deep slate. Like I always end up making a stone cutter really early in my series, but it's so that I can do this and experiment with different kinds of patterns within the building, and I think it makes it look a lot more interesting. At this point I thought the cottage was looking quite nice, although it needed to be a bit spookier. I added a campfire and you couldn't really see the smoke from the outside, which is something I really wanted to be able to do, so I added another one higher up in the chimney, which meant that you could see a much steadier and more significant stream of smoke. I went to go and collect some tuff because I wanted it for the floor in my house, and on the way back got chased by a witch, which was very fitting for around Halloween. However, she would not stop following me, so I ran all the way back to my bed and decided it was definitely time I crafted a door in case she came and followed me all the way back to my house. I felt like my cottage needed to be a bit spookier, so I headed over to the jungle I had just seen so that I could start collecting some vines. And I also had to get some bamboo while I was there because I think it's so fun and I like watching it when it falls down because it's really cool. Then I got some melon, which I wanted to be able to plant, and also just because I was running out of food, and I then headed back in the rain. And this is what the house looked like with the added decoration. It's definitely more spooky, and I particularly like the pale vines, as well as the leaves on the roof and the glowberry vines. I think it's definitely fitting for around Halloween, but I wanted to add some more vines around the chimney and the sides of the house. I did a little bit more details. I always love adding a trapdoor, but I also used some of these shelves which were recently added, and I think it makes it look really cool and detailed. I moved the vines around a bit, but settled on this, and I think it looks good. Then I decided to go over the river because I wanted to create my own little farm. I didn't have very many seeds, but I planted the beetroot I'd found and some wheat seeds, and then went to try and go and collect more from around the birch forest. I'll probably move this farm in the future, but for now I think it's okay where it is and is big enough. Then I got some fences so that I could make a little pen area for some animals. I decided I needed some sheep and cows, and I put these little pens just over near the farm. At my house and was really happy with how the vines were growing, especially from the leaves. I decided I needed to do the interior of my base, and this is what I ended up with. It's quite simple. Then I collected my sheep and put them in the pen that I'd made. I like that they're all different colours. Originally I was going to do sheep and cows together, but if they're already separate, why bother making the hassle in the future? I ended up going over to the jungle for these warm breed cows. I think they look really cool, and look how cute the baby looks. Adorable. This was the last little bit I added to my world, and I was clearly quite happy as I decided to watch my cows and eat a pork chop. Thank you so much if you stuck with this video all the way to the end. I really hope you enjoy CottageCraft. I'm so excited to be starting this series. If you like this video, please like and consider subscribing. Also leave a comment if you have any suggestions of what I should do in this world in the future. I'm very excited to progress with this world, definitely get some more building done and some bigger buildings, but if you have any suggestions I would love to hear them. And in the meantime, you can find me over on Twitch and on Twitter, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.